through the middle, and Manchester United, really, that is a fucking terrible start. We were just talking about the slow tempo of Aston Villa and how it's been quite a slow start. One chance, one attack, and they scored with the first one. And a lot of people putting it onto Lindelof. And
I think that's. I want to stop here 1 second. Of course, welcome back to the show, people. Smash like buttons. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure you're turning on that bell notification button as well. What I loved about this reaction from Goldbridge, it was that, just scroll it back a little bit. It was that disbelief. Like, did that just happen? Really? What's this?
Scored for them. It's straight through the middle. And Manchester United, really, that is a fucking terrible start.
It's just a terrible start. That's what it was yesterday from Manchester United. And there was so much confidence and so much belief going into this game. But where does the blame lie? Lindelof's getting a lot of stick. The midfield getting stick. Ronaldo's getting stick. The manager's getting stick. But what do you think?
What did I say about Jacob Ramsey, eh? What did I say about the start of the half? Fuck it. You can lead a horse to water, but they won't fucking drink it, will they? Absolutely.
I've been where Goldbridge is, where you say something on a stream and you're like, why has this message not got through to the players?
Ridiculous. Fucking the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. How do you get back into a game and then come out in the second half and do the same thing again? Like, who's marking Jacob Ramsey? He's completely unmarked.
I get why Goldbridge is exploding here. I felt exactly the same. I'm laughing looking back at it. I enjoy watching other people's reactions. It's what we do on the terrace for this show. But I watched the game back when I got home last night, and I couldn't believe it. It's 2-1. We should have been 3 or 4-0 down, but it was 2-1. You're in the game. Come out. We were so cavalier at the beginning of that second half. So much room and space. And Mark isn't blaming Lindelof for this second goal, where a lot of other people are. So that's why I want to get your take on, where do you think the blame lies? Individual error, poor system and setup? Or was it just that Aston Villa were too good for us on the day?
Martinez with a bad ball out from the back. I mean, there's not a lot wrong here. Lindelof stands his man up. The cross comes in, but he's completely unmarked on the edge of the box. Like, who's picking up the midfield runner?
Still, the confusion still on his face. I felt exactly the same things. I get where Goldbridge is coming from. It's like, how has that happened 3 minutes into the second half? It was crazy to me. But not everybody was so forgiving with Lindelof on that goal. Look at this.
Yeah, fucking hell, Lindelof. You can't just back off every single time. You have to make the fucking tackle, man.
That was more me. Goldbridge was like angry, but kind of keeping it in. This guy was me yesterday. He's all just got to hang out, brother.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Like, honestly, I'm tired of that bullshit. You never learn, do you? Just fuck the comeback, man. Fuck off.
It's like me when I used to come home late from being out. But Dad, I couldn't help it. The situation. My dad's like, fuck you. I'm tired of the bullshit. You're grounded. This guy has had enough.
Like, are you serious, Lindelof? It's Ollie Watkins. Like, what are you doing? He never puts in the challenge.
He ain't having it. My man is not having it. He's like, Lindelof, you're a bum.
This guy's blood. The only way Spurs are beating Liverpool is if I spice up my life and shag Mel C, fam. Once again, man of...
Spice up your life. Why Mel C? Why pick Mel C? Of all the Spice Girls, why Mel C, bruv? Victoria, I mean, a little bit of ginger in your life, maybe, bruv. A little bit of ginger's good. Baby. Sporty. Really? Yeah, I don't know.
Smoking on the X-Pack like D-Generation X, fam. I'm fuming. 45 minutes FC. Tottenham half spur. We never do anything in the first half other than concede goals, blood. More heads gone than Henry VIII, fam. Christmas tree formation. 8-1-1. The most negative thing I've seen. Bro, that's like a Muslim at an EDL march, fam.
Am I allowed to laugh at that? That's funny. No, that's true. That's funny. I'm allowed, right? Oh my God. He's great. Do you know what I love about X? Sorry, killing me. Do you know what I love about X? Legitimately, what I love about X is that he's one of the only Spurs fans calling this out. He's one of the only Spurs fans calling this out. So many are living in delusion. Legitimately. I read this yesterday. Biggest takeaway from the game is that Spurs are going to be challengers under Conte.
Spurs are going to be challengers under Conte.
Challengers under Conte.
Challengers under Conte.
Conte.
Give him what he wants, and Spurs are going to be a superb team next season at the latest. I just want to leave it up there for a minute. These guys, listen, they keep saying we didn't get outplayed. We didn't get outplayed. You got schooled in the first half, and Liverpool could have probably been a bit more clinical at the beginning of the second half with some counters. But you only had the ball because they allowed you to have it. You threw the kitchen sink at it in the last 15 minutes. That's not a good game, and it's a terrible strategy. It's not the only one, not just Harry Brooks here. Got to love the English sports media. 4th place Newcastle described as high-flying Newcastle. 3rd place Tottenham described as struggling Tottenham. Firstly, you're 4th, they're 3rd. You got that wrong. But look at this tweet again. High-flying Newcastle, Spurs are struggling. I've seen this get so much traction with Tottenham fans. And this is, again, why I say I've got a lot of respect for X, because the reason that Liverpool Spurs are being called strugglers right now and Newcastle are being looked at as doing really, really well is because of the form guide. Okay? Newcastle in the last 6 games, 5 wins, 1 draw against Man United, 16 goals scored, 3 conceded. In the last 6 games, they have been the best team in the league. In that period, Spurs sit 7th in the form table with 3 wins, 3 defeats. And they've got 3 defeats in their last 4 games. So when the media are talking about Spurs struggling, they're not talking about your overall points total for the season. They're talking about the trajectory that you're currently in. And when you lose 3 of your last 4 games, and the one win in that was a dramatic last-minute comeback against Bournemouth, who went 2-0 up against you because of your negative approach, they're going to call you struggling. Because you are struggling for performances. You are struggling to pick up points. 3 from 12 is the definition, my friend. The definition of struggling, bro.
The most negative thing I've seen. Bro, that's like a Muslim at an EDL march, fam. It's unbelievable. What makes things worse, we got Kane and Perisic up top. No runners, fam. You get me? We're sponsored by Imodium. Nothing's running, you know. And of course, second half, we try and make it rain like Fat Joe and Little Wayne, but it's just not good enough, blood. Eric Diabolical showed up today, made a mistake. I hear that, fam. But Conte makes a mistake every week. He selects Emerson Royal. That man is a scrub, fam.
And listen, the manager needs to be called out. He might be bigger than Tottenham. He might be more successful than Tottenham. He might have won more than Tottenham. He may be the greatest manager since Sir Bill Nicholson at Tottenham. But it's absolutely right to be calling this guy out without a shadow of a doubt. It just has to be.
I don't think we played well because in attacking areas we could have been more clinical. But I have to say, I don't want to be negative. I still, even though I'm happy with the result, I want to know why Cucurella was not booked when he took down Bukayo in the first half, and Bukayo was away.
I love Ty. Like, there's no reason to even focus on that, but he does. This guy is, and I mean this in the politest possible way, he's an anorak. He will hold on to that decision for 10 years now and throw it back at Chelsea fans whenever they moan about a refereeing decision. Love it.
Him and could have been ongoing, even though it was a far back. I want to know why. And Bukayo got booked. That is absolutely disgraceful, and it shows. I don't want to go on a rant that if Thomas obviously played and we had a proper referee, we would have beat Manchester United as well. I won't say what's.
What do you think of Man United? Why is he bringing up Man United? Why are we catching strays today? What did we do? What did we do? I don't even understand.
Don't call them. But listen, this is a massive statement by the team, and I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of all my fans. All the fans, not my fans. Boy,
Steady.
you know, I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy. But there was a tinge of sadness.
Yeah, tinge of sadness. I want to kind of move on to that you just mentioned at the end there. Now, obviously, you spoke about Cucurella, should have been booked, and I agree with you there. But we're not going to go too much into the referee. But I do want to talk about Aubameyang, because I know you was a big fan of him. You had a lot of respect for him. But today, you still do?
I still do have a lot of respect for him. Listen, he shouldn't have said what he said, but I think, if I'm honest, he was stitched up like Robbie. Robbie, if you're listening, I'll see you on the Fire show on Tuesday. Like Robbie tried to stitch me up about Amsterdam. We'll say no more.
Oh, what happened in Amsterdam? Well, I need to know now. I need to go and find it out. I don't know. What happened in Amsterdam? Let me know in the comments, people. But listen, I feel like Arsenal fans will forgive Aubameyang because he was a shining light in some of their darkest moments, helped them win a trophy, and it maybe has ended sort of unsanctimoniously between them. But the fact that he didn't score yesterday, I think they'll be very, very forgiving. He's just seen from Ty there. But it's good to see. It is good to see my man happy there.
I promise, like, and even it's.
Let's take a look here at Carefree Lewis.
Just look at the weather. Speaks magnitudes about our performance. We were fucking dog shit today. And yeah, we probably saw it coming, but even just to watch it in practice, just the golfing class, just how average we fucking are as a squad from top to bottom, it's a joke. We have spent, 400 million over the last 5 years, and our best player is a 38-year-old that we got for free. Says a lot about everybody else in that squad. That attack has fuck all creativity in it.
I actually think Chelsea have spent more than that. I haven't checked this because I haven't watched the video before recording this, but they spent nearly 300 million just last summer. If you go back over the last 3 or 4 years, I swear they spent 500 plus million pounds.
Aubameyang didn't get given nothing. Kai Havertz, he's back, isn't he? In his natural position. Brilliant performance from him today in a big game as well. What a performance. No, dog shit. Same.
Great. No, dog shit.
Way as always, but I get called negative because I'm not going to get sold on meaty performances against no names like Zagreb and fucking Salzburg. Do the shit in a big game. Do it in a Premier League match. That's the same thing I asked after the Salzburg game, after the Zagreb game. He was shite against Brighton. I don't give a fuck if he scored, and he was shite again today. Couldn't even stay on his fucking feet. Couldn't even keep balance. Mason Mount. What the fuck does he do? I ask this question every game and I get told waffle about off the ball movement and all that bollocks. What did he bring today other
Off the ball movement
than just being dispossessed and giving the ball away all the time? Ruben Loftus-Cheek, the same thing. Speaks magnitudes that the most slandered midfielder in our squad, Jorginho, was the only good midfielder out of the lot today. The only good midfielder. Havertz, I'm tired of the excuses. He's fucking shit. Mount needs to fucking pattern up because these performances have been the same for the last 18 months. And the only thing that saved him last season was that he was getting GNA. He's not doing it now. These performances are not flying under the radar. Pattern the fuck up.
Listen, Chelsea fans are angry, and I'm glad to see a Chelsea fan stand up and say something. I've been saying this for weeks, right? And by the way, I thought up until the last few games, Chelsea were doing well under Graham Potter. I thought they were improving. I thought they were moving forward. But the last 3 or 4 matches, especially in the Premier League, the drop-off has been insane. It's been insane. And it doesn't matter whether I think they're doing well or I think they're doing poorly. You've got to call things out when you see them. There is an element of being a football fan that has to be reactionary. And what I mean by that is you've got to react to a change in situation. You've got to react to a change in form. And it's good to see a Chelsea fan, whether you agree with them or not, speak with a bit of passion. Chelsea fans have been a little bit too placid and a little bit too quiet for too long now. And I think he's right about Kai Havertz. I think he's right about Mason Mount. These players, established first-team stars on huge amounts of money, need to be doing more. They need to be creating for the Sterlings, for the Aubameyangs, for the strikers. They need to be putting some opportunities on a plate for them. And there was 2 times in the game where Kai Havertz had very simplistic passes to tee Aubameyang up, who was free in the middle. He taps those balls in. Chelsea could have been 2-0 up before Arsenal had their first major opportunity to score, but he messed it up. Listen, people, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. Make sure you're leaving your comments below. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace. That's been another fan channel review. Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea this weekend. You know what happened, right? You know what happened?
Lad. Yeah? You got bodied from start to finish, blood. Yeah?